All right, so peace, family. I wanted to give y'all my version, or I should say my story, on how I got started in lawn care. Excuse me, it's kind of bright outside in Georgia. The sun is out. It's almost time for that cutting season. But yeah, I wanted to give y'all my story of how I got started in lawn care. So those who don't know me, I'm originally from Chicago, the Chicagoland area. And so I've always had a knack for business. I started multiple businesses up there with some of my buddies. I had a security business, mechanics business. And I always been the one out of my group of friends that was like, if this business takes off, whatever business we was doing, if the business takes off, I'll be the one that call out of my job and, handle the workload. I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just so passionate about it. But I moved down to Georgia, I want to say in 2016, and I came down here with my CDL. And so my mindset was I could work anywhere in the country I wanted to. It just so happened I came down here one December and it was like 75 degrees, and I'm like, yeah, this is the place we gonna move to. So yeah, I came down here with my CDL, and I got a job at a concrete mixing company. I was a concrete truck driver, and it was okay at first, and then I just started seeing how they pretty much abused my time. I wasn't making the money that I thought I should be making for the time that I was there for. And so I was like, man, something has to change. And so while I was working at the concrete company, I was cutting lawns on the side because I had always done that as a kid. My grandmother would pay me to cut the grass, and I always had it as a side hustle as a kid. And so I figured, like, man, let me do that down here, since there's a lot of months of grass cutting down here. So on the weekends that I wouldn't work, I would be cutting grass. And then at one point in 2017, I believe, at one point it got to the point where I was like, man, I'm getting enough clients to where I could take some days off. And so things was getting worse at the job. And I had just decided one day just to, go at it full force. The way I did it was probably unconventional to most people. I just went out there and did it, without any knowledge on it. I had a lawnmower and a broom, and I was like, let's just get it. I don't even know what I used the broom for, but I know I had a lawnmower, and I was like, man, let me get out here and cut grass, because I'm starting to see there's a need for it. And so yeah, in 2017 really is when I started actually, I'd say, interning to cut grass, because that was before I got my business incorporated and all of that stuff. And so I guess it was like a trial run to see if I liked it, and it really started popping off. Like I want to say maybe in June or July, which is now what I know is one of the busiest months in Georgia for lawn care. Yeah, it started really getting busy. So I got to the point where I had a push mower, and then I had got a small loan from a friend, and I exhausted my credit card, and I went and got me a Troy built riding mower from Lowe's. So Lowe's lawnmowers was one of my my first lawnmowers. So I never down anybody for going to Lowe's, because hey, you got to get started somewhere, right? So I got the riding mower from Lowe's, and then 3, 4, 5, 6. I got a trailer, my 4x6 trailer, also from Lowe's. and I had a 94 Impala SS, and for some weird reason, that Impala SS, you know, the big body cars, they always come with trailer hitches because they, you know, they got V8s in them. It had a 5.7 V8, you know, so I had enough torque to pull that stuff, and I hooked that trailer up to my car, and that riding mower, and I got busy, and I started seeing that I liked it because I could pretty much make my own hours. I could work as much as I wanted to, or as less as I wanted to. But back then it was like, man, I'm just gonna go until I can't anymore. So that was pretty much my year one, you know what I'm saying? And it started dying down in I want to say maybe that year, maybe October, November. And I didn't really understand why. I was like, man, you know, I kind of took it personal. I was like, man, is this something I'm doing wrong? But it was me learning that, you know, the grass stops growing and people don't need service. And so I did that, and then so on those slow seasons, because I call them slow seasons, I went and got me a little part-time, you know, little part-time job just to cover my bills and expenses. And so now we're going into year one, which is really year two, but year one of Cuttin Up. And this is when I started to get the business structured. I got my LLC, and it just so happened a friend from Chicago moved down here, and he didn't have any work, and so it linked up oh so beautifully, you know what I'm saying? Because he needed the work and I needed the help. And so shout out to Darius D Nice, you know what I'm saying? If you ever watching this, bro, man, I appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, for grinding with me in those months. And so in 2018, I'm gonna paint the picture for y'all. In 2018, right, I had already had a sense of the lawn care industry, you know what I'm saying, and what could possibly be. So I had me a Troy-Bilt riding mower. I had a couple of push mowers because I think I ran through my first one, or maybe not yet. And then I had some clientele, which is important. And so yeah, we hit the ground running. I had my first subdivision, and then I started getting clients that I was consistent, and so they was giving me equipment like push mowers and stuff. So I started having a plethora of push mowers, which was perfect because I would have him do the small parts of the yard, and I would do the big parts with the riding mower. And then, you know, I would edge and weed eat and all of that stuff because it would take him a longer time to push mow. And so yeah, my second year we got it we got it in, and that's when stuff really started breaking down. This was another lesson year for me, you know what I'm saying? I started realizing my equipment started breaking down right when things was getting busy. My car actually broke down. The transmission started slipping because I had everything in the trunk of that car. Chainsaws, jacks, everything that I could fit in the trunk of my bed, I was putting in the trunk of my car. Like everything that I have in the trunk, in the bed of my truck, I was putting in the trunk of my car, and even sometimes in the back seat, and all of that, and then hauling a trailer in the back. So, you know, cars ain't really made for that, but it was pulling it fine. But I knew I was dogging that car out, but at that point, man, I didn't care. I was just like, man, I got a vehicle I ain't paying no payments on, so, you know, the profit margin was higher for me, and I was still figuring out like what to pay my worker. So I dabbled around a little bit with what to pay him, you know what I'm saying, until we came to a mutual agreement. It was like, I think it had become like maybe like $10 a yard or something on that first year, you know what I'm saying? And it was also a learning lesson because I didn't I didn't know anything about systems, procedures, or nothing like that. So I was learning as I was trying to teach him. And so, you know, luckily he had a good head on his shoulders, and he was just like, he understood that this was a trial run for me, and I was learning as I was trying to teach him. We was both learning at the same time, basically. And I was going through stuff as a business owner, like stuff being broken down, dealing with customers. Like I was doing everything, you know what I'm saying? I was the janitor, I was the person doing the quotes, I was the person doing the work, I was the person picking up him, dropping him off. Then at the end of the day, I would still have to go home and, you know, be a family man and all of that stuff. And so that year was very stressful for me, but I didn't let it get to me. I was still so determined to get this thing off and running, just because I like the freedom of, you know, moving to the tune of my own drum. And so yeah, I had so many breakdowns with push mowers and my mower and my vehicle. And so I believe in the middle of that year is when I got my first pickup truck. And that's when business really started ramping up. And then I started having a sense of what was going on, because I would document everything. I would write everything down on my calendar, and just so I could go back and look at it. And so now